Welcome students to the second class on dissolution of partnership firms. Now, in the previous class you all have learned what is the meaning of dissolution of partnership and just seen the types of partnership dissolution. Now, dissolution of partnership means the firm is going to put or dissolve or put an end to the existing partnership agreement. So, in dissolution of partnership, there is reconstitution of partners. It may be because of death, retirement, or admission. But when I say dissolution of partnership firm, that means the firm is going to close or dissolve the overall agreement. The activities of the firm are put to an end. So, there is a difference between dissolution of partnership and dissolution of partnership firm. In today's class, we are going to learn dissolution of partnership firm and problems on such dissolution. So, when a firm is dissolved, that time partners have to realize all the assets and liabilities of the firm. This is done to know the profit on realization of assets and liabilities or losses on assets and liabilities realization. Now, whenever the dissolution is being done, that time the partners have to follow a particular procedure. That is, first they have to realize all the assets. After realizing the assets, they have to pay the outside debts like creditors, bills payable, bank loan, or any third party adjustments. Next, the person who is looking after the dissolution process, he has to get certain commission. It is called as dissolution expenses. So, whatever expenses are done at the time of resolving or realization of assets, he has to get certain commission, which is called as dissolution expenses. Now, after paying the dissolution expenses, the dissolution process can be done by a partner himself or an outsider can be appointed for this process. Now, if any partner has advanced loan, it has to be paid separately to the partner by preparing partner's loan account. Then I have to prepare the partner's capital and the cash account. So, lastly, we are going to settle the partner's capital account. So, we have a problem which is showing how the process of dissolution takes place. Now, we are having a problem. Suvarna and Sunanda are partners sharing profits and losses equally. The balance sheet is given. So, you are having bills payable, creditors, loans, partner's loan. Sunanda is a partner, she has advanced loan. Reserve fund, then capital accounts, then you are having cash, debtors 55,000, provision for doubtful debts 3,000, stock 40,000, furniture 15,000, machinery 25, building 81, profit and loss 12,000. The total of balance sheet is 2,40,000. So now this is the balance sheet. In the next slide we are having adjustments. So on the above date, the firm was dissolved and the information given is debtors 52,000 was realized, stock 39,000, machinery 24,000, building 75,000, furniture 13,000. Creditors and bills payable are paid at 5%. Dissolution expenses, it is 4,000. So, we are going to prepare realization account, partner's capital account and the bank account or cash account as the case may be. So, first we will prepare realization account. Now on top you are writing the heading realization account. Now realization account is prepared to know the profit or loss on realization of all assets and liabilities. For this purpose, first all the assets and liabilities have to be transferred to this particular account. So the rule that we are applying here is increase in expense. All the expenses are debited and all the incomes are credited. So before doing that, first I have to transfer the assets. So whenever I am transferring the assets which are existing in the balance sheet has to be taken into consideration. Now when we are taking this assets, we are not going to transfer cash and bank account because these two accounts are prepared separately. So the cash balance is not going to be entered in realization account. It is cash available with us, so it is not entered. Now as the amount is given in the balance sheet, now debtors, the inner column had 55,000. So I will take it at the book value because my total debtors are 55,000, whereas there is a provision that is made by me. So this up to 3,000 there may be a loss. So the loss is always shown on the credit side. So when I show the loss that may occur, that is going to balance my total good debts. So 55 minus 3 will give me the balance of 55. So students, don't take directly the outer column amount, take the inner column amount if there is PBD appearing in the old balance sheet. Next, stock 40,000, furniture as it is 15,000, machinery 25,000, building 81,000. All these are taken at the same balance sheet values. So they are called as book values. So first I am going to enter all the assets on the debit side of realization at the given balance sheet values or book values. Now coming to sundry liabilities, I have to transfer all the liabilities on the credit side because these are the payments that have to be made. These are the obligations which are existing. So there is increase in these liabilities and these are increase in my assets, that is the existing position. So bills payable 10,000, creditors 50,000. So what information is given is entered in the realization except my cash account. Now coming to the adjustment. The first adjustment says that assets realized were as follows. So I will write here by cash or bank in the bracket assets realized. So whatever amount is given in the adjustment, that amount has to be written. So debtors I have 52,000, stock 39,000, machinery 24,000, building 75,000 and furniture 13,000. All I have written in the inner column. The total amount on assets realized I will get 2,03,000. Now after realizing these assets, I will come to the debit side to make the payment of my liabilities. So on the debit side, I will have to write to cash or bank because decrease in liabilities is always debited. So I will show it on the debit side. Now bills second adjustments tell that creditors and bills payable are settled at 5% discount. So the total bills payable is 10,000. So 5% of 10,000 gives me 500 discount. So 10,000 minus 500 is total bills payable will amount to 9,500. Similarly, my total creditors amount to 50,000. Now 50,000, if I take this 5,000, it is 2,500. So from 50,000, if I minus 2,500, I'll get 47,500. So the total of my outside liabilities is 50,000. So they have to be shown separately. After that, whatever dissolution expenses are given in the problem, that is the amount spent for dissolving the firm, amounts to 4,000. I have to record. Now after recording all the assets and liabilities after realization, I should take the difference between the debit side and the credit side. So total of my debit side is more, because total gives me 2,77,000. 2,77,000 I'll write. The difference between debit and credit gives is 11,000. So this 11,000 is distributed equally among the partners. So both are getting 5,500. So now it comes to an end of the realization account. After preparation of realization account, we are going for the next account, that is partners capital account. So I will draw the partners capital account with debit and credit. Next, I will show them what is the balance of partners capital. So partners capital account is 60,000 and 80,000. In the balance sheet, they have given reserve fund. Reserve fund is 15,000. So reserve fund also has to be distributed equally. So both are getting 7,500 each. Now coming to the balance sheet, I am having 12,000 on the asset side of balance sheet. So profit and loss, again 12,000. That loss has to be distributed equally to partners capital, 6,000 and 6,000. Now coming to realization account, you are having 11,000 as realization profit. So distribute that 11,000 equally, amounts to 5,500 each. Now take the total of the debit side and the credit side. The difference will be the cash balance that has to be paid to the partners. So you will get Suvarna 56,000 and Sunanda 76,000. Now we will go for the last account, that is the bank account. Now bank account, this is the opening balance of the cash which is given in the balance sheet, 15,000. Now from realization account, I will take the total liability assets that have realized, that is 2,03,000. Similarly, I will come to realization account. On the debit side, I have paid the liabilities. So now whatever amount is paid, it shows decrease in cash. So I will take it on the credit side. So decrease in cash is credited. So realization, I am giving off 57,000. That is the bills payable and creditors together amounts to 57,000. Next, I am having the dissolution expenses that were spent. That was 4,000. Now Sunanda's loan was existing in the partner in the balance sheet. Now partner's loan is privately paid. We are not going to transfer in realization account. So such transfer will be paid privately. So she has to be given her 25,000. Then whatever is remaining, the partner's capitals, that was balance to bank we have taken. So whatever is the partner's capitals balance has to be transferred to the bank account. So Suvarna is 56,000, Sunanda is 76,000. Now the total of my credit and the total of my debit should be equal to 2,18,000. So when my cash account tallies, that means the firm is completely dissolved. So on dissolution, we should not have any balance of cash. I hope you all have followed it. For any doubts, you all can come and contact us. Thank you, and see for some more problems in the next class.